This conference will now be recorded.
All right, everyone. Thank you for joining the July edition of our monthly CyberSecure Canada webinar series. Today's topic is secure mobility. So I will be going over what's required under this control topic and what you need to provide in order to demonstrate your compliance when applying for certification. My name is Brendan Dumpy. I am the Director of Trust and Compliance with CyberNB, and I will be your host today. For new participants joining today, I do see there's a few names that I haven't seen before, so welcome. I do a brief overview of CyberSecure Canada, and then I'll present on the specific control topic and the requirements for certification. This webinar is recorded, and participants can ask questions via the chat box. We will address questions during the Q&A portion at the end of the presentation, time permitting, of course. Any questions that are not addressed can be asked via email to info@cybernb.ca. Also, I will be doing a draw at the end of the presentation for a $50 Visa gift card just for attending today. So good luck, everyone, and let's get started. So first off, I'm going to go over what we do for trust compliance programs with CyberNB. Which our focus with the Trust Compliance Program is to help organizations of all sizes operate safely in the digital economy. Canadian businesses must ensure their systems, operational processes, and their data are secure. This is especially true for small and medium-sized companies, which often lack the resources that larger organizations have to continually monitor and mitigate threats. CyberNB connects businesses with accreditation bodies and certification bodies so they can mitigate risk and obtain required certification. Some of our trust compliance initiatives include liaising with national and international certification bodies, helping businesses obtain required certification and accreditation, promoting best practices in assessing vulnerabilities and threats, and expanding market opportunities to compete in supply chains that require accreditation, validation, or certification. So what is CyberSecure Canada? Well, it is the official cybersecurity certification program that was developed by the federal government of Canada. It is still technically classified as a voluntary certification. However, there are RFPs that have come out recently from the federal government that state that the ultimate recipient, the winning bidder, if you will have to get CyberSecure Canada certified, and all of their downstream suppliers that support the bid would also have to get certified. So this is quickly becoming a requirement for doing business with the federal government of Canada. It was designed with the following goals in mind: to improve Canada's cybersecurity baseline with small and medium organizations, raise awareness and educate all Canadians about cybersecurity, and increase consumer confidence in the digital economy of Canada. It's based on 13 control areas found in the baseline cybersecurity controls for small and medium organizations, and they're also shown on the screen here. And for example, you have provide employee awareness training, so ensure employees understand the risks associated with their roles. Enable security software, so ensure your devices are protected from malicious code with anti-malware solutions. And our topic today, secure configuration. For more details on each control, please visit our website, cybernb.ca/trust compliance, and select the Learn More button under CyberSecure Canada. So to get started with certification, it's very easy. On our website, there is a button under CyberSecure Canada that you can just click to get started. And this will take you to our secure online portal. From here, you can register your organization to process all of the CyberSecure Canada certification requirements in one spot and actually upload the information to demonstrate your compliance, and the certification body would be going in there to review you for certification. Our portal is powered by Microsoft Azure, and it utilizes their robust security functionalities as well as multi-factor authentication. And to register, obviously, it would just be this little green register button on the side there. And best of all, it is now free to get access to the portal. So there's no upfront cost to get started with CyberSecure Canada. What you would do when you're registering, you just enter the code CSC 2021, so CyberSecure Canada 2020, into the discount code box, and then just click outside that box and it'll change the price from $350 down to $0. And then you just click that pay now and complete registration, and your organization will be registered and up and running. So when you're processing the requirements, you will be presented with a series of statements. We refer to them as statements based on, by clicking the implemented button, you're stating that this is true. For baseline control 1.3, the organization has considered purchasing a cybersecurity insurance policy that includes coverage for incident response and recovery activities, or provide the rationale for not purchasing one. But down below would be your required evidence. So this is what the certification body will actually have to view in order to award certification to you. Basically checking off baseline control 1.3 is met. So for this example, what you would need to provide is formal documentation that demonstrates that you have cybersecurity insurance. So for example, your cybersecurity insurance policy, or just writing the rationale for not purchasing insurance. And in this screenshot, you can see there's a insurance policy document uploaded there. Once you do that, you can just click next or save changes if you wanted to continue to work in this one statement. So mobile devices, such as cellular phones, are essential to most organizations, obviously. Organizations need to decide the ownership model for that which they wish to have mobile devices. For example, organizations typically either provide company-owned personal-enabled devices or allow employees to bring their own devices and have access to the company network and data. In both cases, organizations need to take steps to secure sensitive information and corporate IT infrastructure access from these devices. Whether mobile devices are business or employee-owned, governing principles should be that they exist with a separation between work and personal data, including apps, email accounts, contacts, etc. Many solutions exist to segregate work and personal spaces, ranging from using separate apps for work and personal to, like a secure folder or a locker function for sensitive information. Organizations should determine how to enforce this separation in a manner that balances the organization's business and security needs, and should also require that all mobile devices store all sensitive information in a secure encrypted state. Applications, greatly enhance the capability and productivity of mobile devices, but can also introduce risk. So to minimize these risks, organizations should require that employees only download apps from trusted sources, such as well-known application stores. If organizations cannot enforce this policy through technical controls, then there should be like a cybersecurity awareness training on the matter for their employees. Organizations with more mature IT infrastructure and business processes should choose an enterprise mobility management solution or a mobile device management solution that enables enhanced business features as well as improved administration over mobile devices. These solutions vary in capability, but generally include functions to manage, audit, support these mobile devices in the workplace. And they may also include the capability to remotely wipe the devices if they're lost or stolen. For mobile connectivity, organizations should instruct users to disable automatic connections to open Wi-Fi networks and avoid unknown Wi-Fi networks. And they should also consider using a virtual private network, or VPN, if they are required to connect to these public networks to conduct business or access company data. Organizations should also limit Bluetooth and other near-field communication protocols for exchange of sensitive information, and should also instruct users to select the most secure connectivity option available, such as using their cellular data rather than public Wi-Fi networks. So to demonstrate for cyber secure mobility, this applies to all mobile devices in scope. So that of course includes your cell phones and your tablets that are used by the organization, but it also includes your laptops. If they have access to corporate information, they have to be in scope of this topic as well. There are 7 controls under this topic, and they range from baseline control 8.1 to baseline control 8.7. And the best way for me to demonstrate what's required for each control is to actually show you snaps of the portal statements, and it'll clearly demonstrate what's required and what evidence you need to gather. So let's start with baseline control 8.1. So here you'll see it starts with statement 23 for secure mobility. For baseline control 1.1, the organization shall decide on ownership model for mobile devices and document the rationale and associated risks for this model. So for this example, the required evidence would be your formal documentation that describes the ownership model for the mobile devices and the rationale for choosing this model and any associated risks that you know of. So you basically just choose your file, upload it, and then save changes or click next. It'll save and move you on to the next statement. Statement 24 would cover baseline control 8.2. Organizations shall enforce separation between work and personal data on mobile devices with access to corporate IT resources and document the details of the separation. I've seen many different forms of this. I've worked in a place where I actually had to log into a separate application with multi-factor authentication to access my email and my documents in my workplace, and the rest of my phone didn't have access to those documents, and I couldn't copy and paste from them either. I've also seen a cloud-based environment where you're just logging in to a website or your email, and you aren't allowed to copy and paste from there either. So there's a lot of options out there, but it's pretty important to separate that so there's no mix-ups or data loss. So for this, required evidence would be your formal documentation on how the organization enforces the separation of work and personal data on mobile devices. And again, this would include your laptops as well. For baseline control 8.3, organizations shall ensure that employees only download mobile device apps from the organization's list of trusted service providers, sources on mobile devices with access to corporate IT resources. So this is especially true with Android devices. Users have the ability to download applications, browsers, even operating systems from untrusted sources and install them themselves. It's a little harder to do with an iPhone, but there has to be some way, some method put in place to protect the organization's devices if they're owned, or at least some way of enforcing that the mobile apps are trusted sources for mobile apps are being enforced. And again, that's basically what's required: your formal documentation on how the use of trusted sources for mobile apps is enforced in the organization. All right, so baseline control 8.4. The organization shall require that all mobile devices store all sensitive information in a secure, encrypted state. This is extremely important. If you were to lose or have your laptop stolen, and you had critical business information on there, or sensitive proprietary information, you have to ensure it's encrypted in order to protect it, to make sure that no one will be able to access it if they steal your device or if you lose your device. We've seen this in the news several times where a laptop gets lost or stolen that has 300 or 3,000 healthcare records stored on the device and not encrypted. So it's extremely important to make sure that you're doing that on your business laptops to protect your information. And again, as this is a self-attestation with evidence, basically all you need to provide is your formal documentation on how the organization enforces the storage of sensitive information in a secure encrypted state on all mobile devices, or you use secure cloud storage, that type of thing. Moving on, for 8.5, it asks that the organization consider implementing an enterprise mobility management solution for all mobile devices, or document the risks assumed to audit management and security functionality of mobile devices by not implementing such a solution. So again, it would just be providing your formal documentation on describing the use of an enterprise mobility management solution, or the associated risks and the for not implementing such solution, and the rationale. All right, 8.6. Organizations shall enforce or educate users to disable automatic connections to open networks. This is important. I was at a conference one time, and one of the presenters was stating that sometimes the hacker will create a open network that would be titled home, and your device would see the home network is available and just connect to it automatically, and then he would be able to have access to your device and track your traffic. So it's important to turn that off if it is on currently. And then avoid connecting to unknown Wi-Fi networks. So if you see an open network and you do want to have access to the internet without using your cellular data, it's really not recommended. It could be someone sharing this network for the purpose of sniffing your traffic and stealing information if possible. So it's really not recommended to use those. The next would be limit the use of Bluetooth and near-field communications for the exchange of sensitive information. That is also very critical. Bluetooth is probably the most insecure method of transformation known to man. So it's not a safe way to transmit data that's sensitive data. And the use of corporate Wi-Fi or cellular data for connectivity rather than public Wi-Fi. Again, it's the same idea. It's better to use your cellular data if you're in a hotel room rather than using the free Wi-Fi that they provide for the same purposes of you don't know who's watching you when you're on these networks. So for this statement, the required evidence for baseline control 8.6 would be your formal documentation that would address all 4 of these controls, like how is this implemented? Is it enforced by some method, or is it a training program that you provide to users that addresses all of the below? I will mention that if it is a training program, the assessor would likely need to see, the regime of the training, like how it's delivered, maybe a syllabus, that type of thing. You have to demonstrate how you comply with each control. And last but not least, baseline control 8.7. Organizations shall consider using a virtual private network, or VPN, if they require to connect from a public Wi-Fi, or provide the rationale for not using a virtual private network. VPNs are great. If you're on the road and you need to do some work from the hotel and you have to use their Wi-Fi, a virtual private network will actually put you in a secure tunnel, so that even if someone is sniffing your traffic, it's all encrypted. They wouldn't be able to make any sense of it. So it's an extremely valuable tool. And so basically for this statement 29 for baseline control 8.7, what you require to provide is your formal documentation detailing the use of a virtual private network when connecting from public Wi-Fi networks, or the rationale for not doing so. Basically stating why you wouldn't use it and that you would accept the risk, basically. So when you're processing the statements, you would see below each statement, there'd be a button that would say submit for certification. Until you complete all 51 statements for CyberSecure Canada, it'll be grayed out. But once you complete these statements, you just click, it'll light up and you'll be able to click submit for certification. And at that time, you'd be contacted by CyberNB to select one of the 4 accredited certification bodies under the CyberSecure Canada program. So these 4 organizations shown on the screen are the only accredited certification bodies for this program. They are accredited by Standards Council of Canada, and they are Bulletproof Solutions, CyberSecure Canada, SourceTech IT, and WATSEC Cyber Risk Management. So once we put you in contact with them, they would arrange a review of your certification submission. It is all done online. There is no on-site portion of this certification program. And there is a fee for the review, and basically they all set their own fees and would bill directly. At any time during the process, though, there's always help available. The portal does have a help request function. So if you have a question about a specific control or need more information or low-level technical advice, that can be provided free of charge, of course. But if you had a more technical inquiry, like you want to install a firewall or something along those lines, we can put you in touch with one of our trusted managed service providers. And as you see, the first four are the certification bodies. They also can support practitioner services if you require any service. They can pretty much provide you guidance and support at any level. So it could be general implementation questions all the way up to implementing all the required compliance controls for you, and even completing the portal submission on your behalf. So I did want to touch on cyber insurance. This is a really hot topic right now, actually. In 2021, the amount of ransomware attacks and cyber insurance claims has just skyrocketed. The last report I saw said something like 600% increase in ransomware attacks and insurance claims for cybersecurity incidents. So it's becoming a lot, like they're seeing this as a much higher risk, and the underwriting is going through a lot more scrutiny. If they see you as a poor risk for cyber insurance, the fact of the matter is you won't be able to get the coverage. You won't be eligible. You have to demonstrate to them that you're following best practices for cybersecurity in order to even qualify for eligibility. That being said, some organizations stopped offering ransomware coverage altogether. Like there's an organization, a very large insurance company of France, that has just stated that they're no longer going to be offering that as a service. Some other insurance companies are stating that if you want ransomware coverage, it's going to be a separate coverage. You're going to have a separate premium, separate deductible, and the amount of eligible coverage will be reduced in most cases as well. So with Hub Insurance, we do have an arrangement with Hub Insurance that provides a 10% premium discount off of cyber insurance standard rates if you are a certified organization. So cybersecurity certification may be the best way to demonstrate that your organization has the best practices in place, and it has the added benefit of the organization being audited every 2 years by a third-party organization to make sure that the controls are implemented correctly. So using cybersecurity certification, it may help you ensure that you have cyber insurance eligibility. And if you want to go through Hub, it would provide you with a premium discount as well. And it also can be a supplemental offering. If you already have insurance with another company, Hub could offer cyber insurance as a standalone offering as well. There is more information on cyber insurance, especially with Hub, on our website, cybernv.ca/trust and compliance. Next thing I wanted to mention is currently under development, there are e-learning modules. So this will be coming from ISED Canada. So the federal government of Canada is developing these e-learning modules, and they will go through all of the control topics of CyberSecure Canada, and they're designed to help organizations understand the control requirements and the implementation of these controls as well. I believe there's going to be videos and little courses for each control, so it should be very, very helpful. And again, it's going to be freely available to the general public, so that's another bonus as well. All right, so now we're on to the questions section. So I'm just going to check the chat. Oh, someone was having trouble hearing the playback. Are there any questions today? And you can unmute if you'd like to ask a question as well. All right, crickets, perfect. All right, I guess I did a pretty good conversation presentation if no one has any questions. So I will do a draw for the $50 gift card now. And what I'll do is I'll just say the first initial and then the last name of the winner, and then we will send that gift card. I'll contact you directly and we'll send that gift card out. So our winner today is Jay McCormick. So that'll be the winner of the $50 gift card today. So congratulations. And that's everything. Thank you everyone for participating today. Look forward to seeing everyone here next month for our presentation on establishing perimeter defenses. Thank you and have a good day.